here tonight has meant to each and every one of us. I speak for us all when I say that we truly know the job that we do is appreciated by our community, if not by our council. The most important people here tonight, the ones that have come out to make their voices heard, are people you should recognize. Mayor, I truly hope you listen to the public that elected you and drop the idea of eliminating the police department to possibly save a few dollars in the budget, while at the same time losing revenue and a valuable resource to your community. The townspeople have spoken, and I hope you're open to the message they have sent. Mayor and council, if you choose to do the right thing and publicly commit to supporting your police department as its own entity, then I would like to extend to you a promise that we will continue to work with you to best serve the community that we protect. FOP Lodge 43 would like to move forward from this issue and continue to help improve the community that we serve. We owe it to the citizens that have supported us, and we commit to doing the best that we can for them. Thank you for your time.
That goes for the fire department too. If any of those folks tell me that an issue is worth my listening to and I better show up to a meeting, I am damn well going to listen. Sorry for the cursing. That said, I've not made my mind up about this issue. I am leaning against this as a cost-saving measure. It just doesn't make sense to me, although I'm going to still try to have an open mind about it. I'm here in fairness to listen. That's to you, Mayor, and to these folks as well. But I tend to dispute your claim, Mayor, that all the members knew that this was coming. I know you and Ms. Edwards knew that because you were at the meeting discussing this with Raritan Township. I'm not sure the rest of the council knew, and I don't think the community knew. The reason I say that is because in the December 15th meeting, you made a pointed effort to introduce this and then breeze right past any public comment. And I have a problem with that, sir, and I suggest very strongly that you learn the basics of the Open Public Meeting Act and you remember to whom you are all responsible.
I would just like to clarify, I was never in discussion with Raritan Township. I appointed the committee made up of Mark Lodano, Erica Edwards, and Sandy Peru. And all council, and they can tell you right in your face, knew about those discussions going on. They don't dispute them.
Excuse me, one of your council women is shaking her head no.
There was an August meeting that there were some preliminary meetings with just a couple of people on shared services that happened over the summer that other people in the council did not know about.
Thank you.
When Raritan Township about the police department with that. We were looking on shared services in general. We were talking about the assessor and other possibilities, but we never got into anything about the police department. So, Brooke, we got really miss out. But you are not. That's true.
Well, I wasn't at the meeting, so I don't know what was being discussed. So, I mean, I don't want to make pointed figures, but I just
My name is Jerry Jarmanko. I own Prize Jewelers in Flemington. My business has been in town since 1946. I've owned it for 24 years. And 5 years ago, I was fortunate enough to own my own building, have a retail tenant next door, and a 2-bedroom apartment upstairs. I would like to share one quick story. And my story is about one day when Bobby Lamoth was walking by, where's Bobby? He was walking by my store, and I happened to have a customer in my store, and big band, and Bobby walked by and he blinked and winked at me to check to make sure I was okay. And he walked by again, and I winked that everything's okay. And it so happened this individual was a correctional officer from Essex County. My point of my story is that I worked in Newark for 5 years, and I don't take anything for granted. And I appreciate having my front door open. And I love this town. I support the policemen who come in. When my alarm goes off, when I get there in the middle of the night, they're there waiting for me. I think this is very important for all of us. And I'm very proud of you guys. And I hope we can work things out.
Kind of got me going as to what I wanted to bring to this discussion. I'm Sharon Rand Savage. I was the county prosecutor in Hunterdon County for 6 years, and I was the public defender in Flemington Borough for, I believe, 8. I'm also an attorney in private practice. My office is on Ferran Boulevard, just over the Raritan Township line, and I've lived in Flemington Borough since 1985. I've lived in Hunterdon County since 1969. My husband was a teacher at Hunterdon Central for 40 years. I raised my 3 sons in Hunterdon County, and they all graduated from Hunterdon Central High School, a very vested interest in Flemington Borough. To Jerry's comments and to the comments of Bob earlier about quality of life, we are unique in this environment today in that we still live in a little community that we can walk around in the 4 corners of our town. Most people live in the suburbs, and their town centers are usually at Walmart. Our town center is Flemington, Main Street in Flemington. As Flemington goes, so goes the rest of Hunterdon County, including Raritan Township. When I was prosecutor, a great deal of attention was paid to the concept of community policing. Community policing was about cops on bikes, cops on foot, cops in your community knowing who you are and what you're all about. And Jerry's comment about having someone in his store and having Bobby Lamoth walk by and just make some eye contact to make sure everything was okay summarizes the wonderful thing we have in Flemington. So while recognizing that these are hard times, and very difficult decisions are going to have to be made by all of us in terms of our businesses, our family budgets, and our town budgets. Quality of life starts with safety and security in your town. We have a very high quality of life in Flemington because we basically have a safe town, and we have cops who are very connected to what goes on in our town. Again, as county prosecutor, I was well aware of the problems we have in Hunterdon County. But I think got a real first-hand concept of community policing as public defender. Because I represented a lot of sad and sorry people in our borough who I had to defend. And I observed very professional, very balanced police officers who understood who the bad guy was, who was a real threat to our safety, and who was the town drunk that had to be taken over to the Hunterdon Medical Center. If you drive around in a patrol car in hundreds of miles of a suburb and you pull somebody over in your car, and you don't know who they are, you're a hell of a lot more aggressive with that person than you are if you're the town cop who walks up and down Main Street, knows every face, knows who might be drinking too much, knows who is a danger, and knows who's just somebody that needs a little bit of help. So, while I would leave it to the bean counters and the accountants and the financial advisors to talk to you about how you're going to save money, the overriding issue is quality of life. The overriding issue is community policing. We have a situation that Raritan Township can't possibly have. We have boundaries that we can all walk in. And because of that, our police have a whole different way of policing. And frankly, it's the ideal, and we want to keep it that way.